The other piece of this that I read the other day that absolutely blew me away was, I forget who tweeted it, but somebody was like, no one saw inflation coming. Like, it surprised all the economists. And there's a whole article about it. And I saw a bunch of people dunking on it, obviously. And they were like, what are you talking about? Like, literally, the memes were the Fed chairman, like, literally printing money with music behind it while they were doing it. Like, the entire internet knew this was coming. It just somehow in these academic or kind of theoretical circles, people thought that it wasn't going to happen, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah, and it's a global thing too. I mean, like we're seeing, the lira is crashing. I don't know if you were talking about it earlier. The lira is crashing 12, 15% daily, right? It's unbelievable.
What's going on there with it? Have you been looking at it at all in terms of understanding what's happening in Turkey?
Yeah, I think I mean, the lira and a lot of these emerging market currencies, basically, like, there's no external demand for their currency other than domestically. And so they're printing money, and everybody happy, and the exchange rate only goes one way.
When you look at the Turkish lira, walk me through how you think about Bitcoin in relationship to that. Obviously, Bitcoin continues to hit all-time high over all-time high with the Turkish lira as like the denominating currency. Does that play into anything around Bitcoin adoption or kind of price movements? Or do you think of it as, no, that's just kind of the outlier situation, and it's really because the fiat currency is devaluing, and you stick to US dollar denomination to your analysis?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's huge. I mean, obviously, Bitcoin is a global asset, and some people may not have access to Bitcoin or like the technology that we have in the U.S. But a simple smartphone is accessible for billions of people around the world. And traditionally, like I think I saw a tweet today, the older generations kind of favor gold, and that's holding up better than the lira. But increasingly, the younger generations want Bitcoin, and it makes sense. And the USD volatility, like, oh, Bitcoin was at 69,000 and now it's 57. But when your currency is crashing 50% a year, you don't really care. I mean, it's a lifeboat for you and your family and your savings. So, the lira, and I think basically every other currency besides the dollar, and some of the main currencies like Michael Saylor talks about, are all going to continue to collapse against the dollar, and the dollar will continue to collapse against real, hard assets. And I think that's going to be, a continued trend. So even if there is volatility in Bitcoin, it's going to serve you a lot better than holding fiat.